Okay. Okay. This is it. Convo Unscripted, a platform where we have unscripted conversations of international importance and where we speak our minds, our ideas, and our thoughts. And today, we're blessed to have on the other side, coming live from somewhere in South Africa, in this lockdown.
The world.
Today we have a businesswoman in the house. Today we have a leader. We have a reader, a book reviewer, a YouTuber, everything and everything. What is it that you're not? What is it that you're not?
I don't know. Shem, I'm trying to, I realize you can do whatever you want. So,
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure. So today we have Maletjema Mathiba in the house and looking all Valentine's, red and white. So who is Maletjema Mathiba, if someone might ask?
Maletjema Mathiba is one ambitious person. I'll start it there because that is like where everything else comes from. So, I'm never settled. I'm always constantly trying to, do better, be better all the time. So she is somebody who loves to read, she loves knowledge, she loves to implement knowledge, grow herself, challenge herself as well, and get into spaces that, move not only me, but other people as well, into a different space. So yeah, she's quite open-minded. And I've been described as very honest as well, sometimes brutally honest, but
brutally honest.
The truth will set you free.
I see.
So,
like you.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're doing great things, man. You're doing great things. And then I was just in my head, I was just having this thought, let's make a projection. If someone asks you the same question in 2040, where will Maletjema be? What will Maletjema be doing? I mean, let's not say 2040. 2040 is 20 years from now, right? Let's say 2030, 10 years from now.
Okay.
Where will Maletjema be?
Fine.
Yeah, even 40 is fine, right? Okay. Any year but in the next 10 years or in the next 20 years, where will Maletjema be talking from? And what will Maletjema be saying? And what will she be doing? And who will be the Maletjema from now?
Okay. Yeah, that's a great question.
Sure.
No, I've thought about that actually. I did think about it, and when you write your vision down, you think of such things. So in about 20 years time, I see myself as a business leader. I think there's a very huge role to be played in growing the African business and taking African businesses to a higher level, So I see myself in that space, be it being an investor, taking companies along and teaching people all these things that are required in order for you to take your business to be, an international-based business, a national-based business, So that's where I see myself. I see myself in that space, influencing not only people. I think at that point I want to influence businesses and huge organizations, So I see myself as a global citizen by then, traveling within Africa and the world. So
I see.
My wildest dream in 20 years time.
I see.
Yeah.
No, I think you are on the journey to that, just looking at the way you do things and how you do things. We're going to get into the business of things because I know that business is one of your passions, and we're going to get into that and just unlock your wisdom there because we're here to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So you said something about reading, and when I grow up, I want to be like you. When I grow up, I want to be like you for real. Because I've never met a reader, like someone who reads like you do. And sometimes I ask myself, like, where does this person get all the time? She's busy with this and that and that, but in the midst of all of these things, she's able to read and read and read. So how many books are have you read so far? What's your record? I'm sure it's in there.
So I started really young.
Yeah, right? I know you started reading in grade 8. You like Rich Dad Poor Dad in grade 8. Tell me something. How is that? In grade 8, some of us were thinking about going to play Marabaraba, to go out and play soccer, and when you're out there reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, like, who does that? Huh? Sure.
Okay. So the reading journey, right?
Yeah.
The simple part of it is that I struggled to read English, in primary school. Like, I was one of those kids where they were like, if they dare say, Maletjema, please read, you.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
yeah.
So I got into that. But even better, I think my mom was doing network marketing at those times.
Sure.
And then they spoke about money and I knew we were not rich, you know?
Yeah.
So I saw a book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm like, I know for sure that I'm not going to stay poor forever. I can't afford to stay poor forever.
No, you don't have to.
So once I got into that book, my whole life changed because he changed the way I think.
Sure.
He changed my life, and I'm like, I'm not letting this one go. So that's how it started.
Like, how did you get to the book? Because I'm thinking, like, is it just something that came by chance? Like how was the setting? Did you go and be like, grade 8 did you go and be like, okay, I'm going to a bookshop, I'm going to find this book, or did you see it somewhere and everything like that? I'm just trying to, understand the setting at that time. A grade year old going for a Robert Kiyosaki, a Rich Dad Poor Dad. What a wow.
No. I think, as I said, the presentation that was stated then, they spoke about, how network marketing companies are.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Sure.
So I think for most of us Black people, that's how we get introduced into the business space,
Yeah.
So at that time, I saw the presentation. I was just blown away. How could people make so much money?
Oh, yeah.
And that presentation itself didn't give me the strategy, but that book, what they said about that book, I figured this book can give me the information.
Okay, sure.
Yes. So as soon as we went to the mall, I was like, Mama, I think there's a bookstore. Let me get in. And then I asked, I think it was even here at Savannah Mall.
Yeah.
So I got in and I asked, can I have this book? I think it was like 200 Rand, and ish.
Yeah.
I didn't have money back.
Yeah.
I took my savings. I was like, and then I got the book, and then from there, that's I was just on a roll.
Sure. And Rich Dad Poor Dad is actually the first book that baptized me into reading, actually, but not in grade 8, obviously. Not in grade 8. Well, I used to read. I think back then I used to read like novels and stuff, like when you're just coming from a school that maybe didn't have enough of, those kind of content. You just read stuff, newspapers and everything like that. But Rich Dad Poor Dad is the first book that I read, and I was in university at the time. And man, it was more like a whole 360 degree for me. Like, it was just like, it just took my brain, and I sure have. So now, like, I can imagine, like, a grade 8-year-old, like, what was happening in your mind, like, when you read that book? Because it's one book that actually start to get to your brain, and it start to make you, like, it does a lot of things. How was, like, I'm just trying to think of the grade 8 you reading that book. What was going into your in your mind immediately after reading that book, or during the process of reading that book?
So at that particular time, I was going to a new school, right? Coming from primary school. I had been in hostel for like 6 years. So now I was going into high school, You know, I was a new kid. I was that kid who came from like a whole entire different village, and everybody knew each other except me, you know.
Sure.
And that time I was also staying by myself. My mom was working far, as I talk about. You know, I used to go to school in Market, which is like next to Lephalale there. So here in Polokwane, nobody knows you. Like, what school did you go to?
Yeah.
So it found me at a point where I was lonely in a way. You know, I was very much alone. Like I had no one. So it became my where I grabbed my strength, you know, because I was finding out ideas that you can actually be bigger. You know, you can actually do better. You know what I'm saying? So what I loved about the book is that it didn't tell you what to do necessarily, but it changes how you think, you know? So at that point in time, it gave me perspective, and not only perspective, knowledge and power to see myself bigger than where I was at that point.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So you see why I say that when I grow up, I want to be like you? For real. For real. And just roughly thinking, you know, about the numbers, because you do book reviews, you know, very dope book reviews. Like, how many books have you read, or you think you have read so far? What's your record? I mean, from grade 8, I mean, up until now, that must be a lot.
Yeah, no, and
roughly.
I think, now people are gonna be asking me about books. Let me think properly.
No, like
I think several hundreds.
Ooh.
Maybe you're into the hundreds.
Definitely.
If not, like, yeah. So
it must be. I mean, from grade 8
so
up until. Yeah, you used to read.
And I read every day in the taxi. So, you know, when you travel to school, it was like 30 minutes drive. So every single day I'd be reading a book, which was just incredible because I got to read so many different books. Some I don't even remember, but the principles and the lessons, I think that's what is to be remembered. Yeah.
You know, when they talk about walking libraries, well, I have one today on Unscripted. A walking library. Yeah. Now, you know, I was having this conversation with my I have 2 sisters, you know, and the other one is into reading and everything like that. Then the other one, like Akasingin, you know. So as I'm talking to her, I'm like, you know, reading, and she's like, no, like, I rather prefer visuals, like, you get what I'm saying, like reading, you get what I'm saying, and everything like that. Then I realized that perhaps you do have those kind of people who perhaps, you know, I think at this stage you have audio books as well, who maybe respond like they prefer audio, some people prefer visuals and everything like that. But then coming to the reading culture, you know, someone who's like, Maletjema, I really want to read, you know, I'm trying, or maybe where should I start and everything like that, to get into that momentum, because I think one reaches that momentum whereby, like, now, you know, it's in you, it's embedded in you and everything like that. What would you say to such a person?
Okay, so my advice is read books that you are interested in, like topics that you generally like.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because these books can get pretty intense, especially if you are now into, you know, your Robert Kiyosaki, then they're telling you about 4 segments of businesses or how you can approach it. It can be quite intense. So start with a normal novel. I remember I read Shlomu the Wife, which was just a great story. I was just like, but woman had my because the story was just so nice. So for I would say start with books that are lighthearted, that are interesting to you, and then as soon as you get that into that culture, you know, getting into something else. And actually, I believe in, you know, like, integrate. You don't have to always read business or highly impactful or whatever. Integrate. Read a nice chilled book, and then read a book where you learn from and grow at the same time. So I think that way it becomes much, much nicer. You know? Yeah. into the 50 Shades, you know, if you want to.
50 Shades of Grey.
No, I mean,
So,
there's so much.
Yeah.
They're so much lighter than.
Yeah. No, I like that because I'm one of the things like also. So of course everyone has their liking or their niche, whereby like this is, you get what I'm saying. But I've also read books that were really outside, like really like, and it gives you another perspective. And I think it speaks to that diversification. You get what I'm saying? Because myself, I like having conversations about everything and anything. If I talk to an accountant, I want to talk accounting. If I talk to a politician or a political somebody, I want to talk politics and everything like that. So I like being well-rounded, and I think diversifying the themes or the topic of the books is quite advisable. So one of the things that I'm starting to appreciate right now is that reading is an art, man. Like, it's an art, you know, because I've realized that, you know, there's some reading styles, you know. People, when they read, some they go to the park, you know, in nature, they want to be in nature. Some, when they read, they want to have coffees and biscuits. And, you know, some people want to have some jazzy in the background, you know. It's a whole new art at another level. What's your artistic reading style? When you read, when you're in that reading, you know, ring, what do you do? Are you the coffee type of reader? Are you the quiet, lock the door, no one in type of reader? But wait, I think I know what kind of a reader you are. You love spaces, you know. You are those people who go to an entire restaurant, sit there and read. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's my new style, you know, because I'm like, we've been in this relationship for too long, you know. I think I should take you out now.
Sure.
So yeah, so lately I've been enjoying that because I'm just like, I love to go out, I love to, you know, dine and, you know, explore different places and different restaurants, and then, you know, you can't always take people along. So they're busy, they got stuff to do. So I just go by myself with a book, and I noticed that a lot of guys actually go out by themselves. I'm like, why am I sleeping on myself? Because I know I love to eat.
Sure. You know.
So yeah, that's what I do.
You know, I've tried that. Hey, I'm balela, like that thing of going to a restaurant alone, and like I just can't. Like, and I'm just like, Maletjema is a boss. Like, I can't. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not used to that. But I once tried it out. You know, just going to a restaurant and sitting there and reading. The thing is with me, like, I start looking at, you know, I want to be in a closed space. So when I'm in a space where there are other people, like, then I start looking around and be like, and you get what I'm saying, the noise disturbs and everything like that. But I guess is that saying of like, you know, different things for different people. But I think your style is very, you know, it has that thing, you know.
Yeah, but that's like a celebratory thing. Like, I read every day, so that's like once a month or once in like 3 months, depending on how busy I am. Yeah, no, I don't have money like this. Even if I did, no, not all the time.
Yeah, not all the time. I get that.
So my actual reading habit. Yeah, so my actual reading habit is that I prefer reading in the morning. As soon as I get up, I'm at my sharpest, I'm at my most creative, I can concentrate the most.
Sure.
So I try to read in the morning so that the book also fuels me. I mean, those ideas, if you read Robin Sharma, I'm telling you, your day. I'm a warrior, you know? So that's but for now, I've actually been very busy. So what I do is that I say 30 minutes before I go to bed, I read a book, and then I do like, it's like a bedtime story now.
Sure.
So I'll just read through and then highlight, and these are the ideas I want to explore, I want to implement in my life. I'll get into it when I'm awake. When I get time, I'm going to break this down and implement them. So that's the actual crux of reading every day. Yeah.
Yeah, no. You're on a whole new level. Let's play a little game. So this game is maybe we can just call it the best book for, right? So I'm gonna give you like segments or themes, and then you're just gonna like, maybe it's a book that you read and everything like that, and you just like boom, like, do you get the part? Do you get the whole thing? The best book for, then I'm gonna give you segments, then you're just gonna like shoot, like even if it's a book that you haven't read but you have heard about, or if it's a book that you have read and you're like, this is the best book for this, for, I mean, according to you, you get what I'm saying, per your reading. Shall we do that? Okay. Finance.
South African perspective, manage your money like a fucking grown-up.
Oh, okay. I've read Manage Your Money Like a Fucking Grown Up, and yeah, I love Sam's. She has that, you know, vulgar language, but it's nice. It's nice. Okay. Business.
Business. Yo, ish. I think if you're starting, I'd always say Robert Kiyosaki, to change your mind.
Oh, sure. I get
yeah,
that.
to be able to get into that creative state.
Sure. I get that. Personal development and growth.
Personal development and growth. Ooh, Ben. No. Definitely Brian Tracy Goals. That book.
What is the name of the book?
Goals. Literally goals.
Oh, Goals.
By
Goals.
Brian Tracy.
Okay. I'll check it out.
100%.
Okay, leadership.
I haven't read it, but I heard a lot of good things about it. 360-degree leadership. I think it's by John Maxwell. Yeah.
Okay. Autobiographies or memoirs?
Okay, I recently started those. So, okay, I know a lot about Oprah, like.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I think autobiography.
Yeah.
Okay, since I'm starting, I think somebody who's entrepreneurial, preferably, would be great. I haven't yet.
I think
gotten into that, but somebody who's in the entrepreneurial space.
Yeah, I think it was written the Elon Musk. I forgot the name of the book, but yeah, it's one of those.
But also. Okay. But I also say the one that I recently read, and then they fired me. That one, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It shows you the transition.
Yeah.
It shows you the transition.
No, I see that one by the chairman of PSG, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then dating, relationships. Let's hear. Where do you get your relationships from?
That one is a very, oh my God. Dating, okay, there are different categories. Are you the Christian, you want to take it slow, or are you the, and it goes for women as well.
Yeah.
So for women, the terms are quite deep, but I'm gonna say one of the books that were really like straight to the point.
Yeah.
It's called The Power of the Pussy.
Oh, okay. That's a very interesting, you know.
Yeah, but I think also one of the books that I'm looking into is 5 Love Languages. I think that's one of the books that I'm looking forward to reading as well. For both parties, I think Yeah, we can learn a lot from that.
No, I've heard a lot of people talk about that, especially those people who are in relationships. Apparently, it helps in sort of understanding, because apparently they say we have different love languages as people. So that understanding in relationships is to knowing the other person's their love languages. I've seen a lot of things on YouTube about that. So I think that would be great. And lastly, fiction, novels and stuff. What is the best book for that in your accordance?
You know, I think Ashomu the Wife, the Shomu series, South African version.
Yeah.
I couldn't, like, it was just great. I loved, I could connect, I could, like, I could relate. It was just perfect for me. I loved reading a South African fiction book.
Can
I add?
Yeah.
So on leadership also, what is that one? Multipliers is a great book for leadership.
Oh yeah. No, that was some punchlines there. You're giving us the scoop, you know. Yeah, that was great. And you do book reviews, very quite, you know, the way you do them is quite, you know, content rich and beautiful and everything like that. So now this is just something that I just want to wait. I'm just having something here. So okay. So yeah. So So the latest book review that you've actually done is a book review by the one that I've watched. It's Lean In, titled Lean In, you know, authored by Sheryl Sandburg. Sheryl Sandburg is the COO of Facebook, and I've seen that book review. I've watched it, and you say in the book review that the book is mainly for women. Women taking leadership, growing their careers and entrepreneurial ventures. And the lessons you have learned from the book, you say, is that there is a leadership ambition gap. You get what I'm saying? I think here you're talking to the sense that there is a phenomenon of women not being ambitious about leadership. And you say that the attributes of that, as per the book, is that there are many attributes, but one of the attributes that caught my eye was that powerful women are seen as being undateable, right? Which was an interesting, you know, thing for me to hear. But of course, it's a societal thing. You do have a phenomenon whereby, you know, strong women, they are intimidating, you know, for guys and stuff like that. Your thoughts there?
No, it's true. We can't deny that.
Sure.
It just gets harder to date the more, especially with
the guap.
You know.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
So I don't know. I think it's based on the fact that men have always been seen as providers, you know, the ones who bring the coin back home. That's where most men actually get their sense of value and worth, you know, when they can provide for their families, you know. So now women are bringing in that money, you know, and that's no longer the case. So it causes quite, mentally it causes quite a shift. It causes, it's disruptive.
Yeah.
And I think we haven't necessarily found a way to handle that.
Sure.
You know? So I think, it's not the norm. And I think a lot of people don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So that's what causes the biggest problem.
No, I think
the worst part is now.
Sure.
No, you go first.
Yeah, no, I think,
yeah,
I think is part of the social construct, you know. And I remember the other time we were talking about this, and you know, like I think we've been socialized in a certain way, you know, as a people. For instance, right now, you know, as a guy, I have to be the one who pursue the lady. You get what I'm saying? That is a social construct. It's sort of abnormal if a lady pursue the guy. You get what I'm saying? So I think as men and women, we've been socialized in a certain way, to a point whereby, and I think with us guys, there is this thing of being a manly man, you know, a macho man, and that thing is attached to dominant. I mean, dominance. We want to be dominant. You get what I'm saying? And the dominance is also attached to finances. So that's why I think, you know, when guys meet ladies who are having it figured out, and maybe they're even having the entire higher guap, hey, it's a problem. You get what I'm saying? But then how do we navigate around this? How do we navigate around this? And have you experienced such a thing? Whereby, you know, because I'm looking at you and you are doing all this, you know, a strong woman, and, you know, very much, you know, you visionary and everything like that. So surely you must be intimidating some gentlemen out there or some guys out there. Have you experienced that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Exactly, I have. And yeah, it has led to one of the relationships that I valued to end, you know,
Sure.
Which was very heartbreaking, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But yeah, it is reality, it is there. No matter how much, you know, we don't want it to be there, like, oh my gosh, like, no, we can't handle it, but it's there, you know, the reality of it is that it's there.
Sure.
And I think the best way to go about it, we have to really redefine, you know, what we like, how we value ourselves, you know, especially as men, you know, what are our roles in relationships, you know. I think nowadays principles such as love, support, you know what I'm saying, pushing each other to thrive and get better, those are some of the qualities that are very important. So one of the things that I've actually noticed, Oprah has, what's the name of the guy? I think it's Stephen.
Yeah. I know the guy
who has been dating Oprah.
Sure.
Yes, you know, so I watched quite a number of his interviews, and how he praises and wants the best for Oprah is that he doesn't struggle with his identity. Sure. His identity doesn't change because Oprah is all powerful and all great. He remains who he is. So it shows that how he values himself as a man is no longer based on money. It's based on completely different things. And they have love and respect for each other.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Preach. Go deeper, woman of God. On a Sunday. Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I like no, that is a very powerful perspective there, because like I think to the bigger things of schemes, not only with relationships, but I think as Black people, and I know I can be persecuted for saying this, but we need to go on some soul searching of some sort, because I think we have a lot of inferiority complexes, and we always want that validation. You get what I'm saying? In relationships, be it anywhere. You get what I'm saying? Because I think perhaps because of our colonial past or whatever the situation is, we always want to have that kind of validation and that dominance, because you see it in even in spaces like that you don't expect it, like security guards, for example. They would give you this, some, not all of them, but I'm just saying some, they will give you this attitude whereby they will make you, I mean, I've experienced, especially when I advance, you know that NSFAS queue, man, I've experienced a horrible, like, I'm just like, but these people, how can they treat people like this? You know, and you look at them, they are Black. And you're like, and then on the line, 90% of the students are Black, but the way they would treat Black students, some of those experiences, I was just like, so I feel like as Black people, maybe we can have a conversation about this some other day. We have some inferiority complexes, and some they manifest in relationships, some they manifest in whatever other platforms that we're into. Very powerful there, Maletjema, very powerful.